Hi, welcome to Free Spirit. There's been so many messages coming through about balance and making sure of what you're pouring yourself into and staying aligned as you go. And now there's a lot coming through about this upcoming period about reassessing, regrouping. Everything has its place, reassessing and putting things in its proper place for the future. So, and it didn't, and then they gave me that Mercury is actually going into retrograde. And just like my other video that I was posting, sometimes you get direct spirit messages, and then you'll realize that the planets are actually doing that as well, where they're telling me it's a time to reassess, to regroup, to reorganize, to put things in their rightful place. So anything with an RE in front of it, but it's preparing for the future. And then I realized, oh, Mercury is going into retrograde. That's going to help us even with that process. So just like the other message, you want to pay attention. If you get direct spirit messages, you're going to find they're aligned to what the planets are even doing. It's very bizarre how that happens and amazing. But going back to this, they started giving me that it's a time to reassess. It's a time to put things, everything has its place, and you're going to be organizing and incorporating it into your life and reassessing where things go. And this could be reorganizing, reassessing, that kind of thing. And it's all for the greater good. It's all for your future. So then they were giving me how a golden way to look at Mercury retrogrades. So this is the ideal of what we want to feel at the end of a Mercury retrograde. We want to be balanced. We want to be at peace. We want to, that's it. And this is also the reason why often for Mercury retrogrades. And I think they're pushing me to do this overall reading because sometimes Mercury retrograde periods just get a bad rap. You just hear about technology being wonky, communication being wonky, things like that. But there's a lot of positivity and a lot of spiritual things that occur. And actually there's a lot of movement even when people say it's not the right time to act, but there's still a lot of movement, and that's what they're underscoring when it comes to the fact of reassessing, realigning, reorganizing, restructuring, revising, all of that, reassessing for the most part. And they're saying everything has its place. So there's something divine about Mercury retrograde, about putting things in place. So you may revisit something, reorganize something, reassess something, review something, and it's great for your future. So Mercury retrograde, I think, gets a bad rap, and that's why they wanted me. At first I was just going to put this in one of my spirit readings for the upcoming week about this, but now they want a whole video dedicated to them, so I will. So this is the golden way to look at a Mercury retrograde. This is the end result, how you want to feel. You also want to go through, don't fight Mercury retrograde and go in the flow, because this is what they want to underscore what Mercury retrograde is all about. It is literally working to release the burdens you have been carrying and to bring it to rest, meaning like a reassessment. So it's working with you, Mercury retrograde. This is spirit working with you on all the burdens, everything you're working on, to take a moment to reassess, realign, put it in the proper place, review all of this so you can better go forward as this, more balanced, more aligned, more in sync, more in the flow. So this is why they wanted this whole thing to be credited to them, that it is indeed, no matter what you feel in the moment of it, it does work with you to release burdens and put them down, reorganize it in some fashion, reassess it, reflect, and then you're better balanced, you're better aligned, more in the flow, and going on to the future that way. So there's something very beautiful about these Mercury retrogrades that shouldn't be lost as much as we hear about all the cons about a Mercury retrograde. So now we're in the shadow period. Going into it, you could start feeling the effects already, where you're reflecting, you're reassessing, you're reorganizing, you're putting things in place, you're seeing where you're pouring yourself into, where you want to pour yourself into, where you want to pour yourself out of, and it's reassessing, realigning, and it's all to help you with the future. So Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap, but this is a golden way to look at the Mercury retrograde and how it actually works for you. They literally made me pull the working card. It's working in your favor, no matter what you think, to help you relieve burdens, reflect, reorganize, reassess, so you can go forward into the future like that. So welcome this Mercury retrograde, and welcome all the actions it spurs you to do, whether in the realms of reassessing, realigning, putting everything in the proper place, rejuvenating yourself and everything around you in your life. That's a really great use for this period and how to look at Mercury retrograde. So I wanted to share this with you because I thought, what a golden way to look at Mercury retrograde. Okay, so let's enjoy this retrograde. Let it work for us. Know that it's working for us on real divine levels. And take care. Bye-bye.